Hello, this is Cynthia Fick, and this is the February 17th stock market update. Well, in today's update, I wanted to address two different questions we've been getting a lot of, and that is, are we truly going into a big sector rotation that will have is sustainable and will have many years left to go? The second question is artificial intelligence going to change our economy and our business world as we know it forever? In not a very good way. So those are two things top of mind in the market and what I think has led to a bunch of volatility this year. So why are we even questioning if sectors are rotating? Well, it looks like the generals that have led this market for 10, 15 years, large company growth and specifically large company growth stocks are being taken out behind the barn and being shot. Whereas the sergeants, sectors of the market that haven't done so well for a very long time, are starting to look like they're doing better. And is that going to be sustainable? Are they truly going to take over this advance? And that's what the big question is. So let me show you. We're always comparing sectors, and I want to show you just a little bit of what it looks like when we're doing that. I'm going to share a screen with you, and this is a comparison of the foreign stocks and the S&P 500. And this goes back for almost 10 years. And as you can see, this is how foreign stocks have done in comparison with the S&P 500. So it's been a very long-term downtrend, way outperformance by the S&P 500. And just right now is starting to go up and look like it wants to try to break that long-term trend, but it's done it many times before, did it in 2025, as you can see here, 2022. So there's been many times when it's done a counter trend to this long-term downward trend and it just was stopped. Now, is this one going to be sustainable? It could very well be. If we're trading the chart in front of us, though, this is not a time to make a knee-jerk, let's go all into foreign stocks right now and sell everything we have in the United States. It's not time to do that until maybe this chart gets more out in here and we start seeing a sustainable long-term trend. Is not something that's, just about to get turned down. So we can make measured moves and start to add these kind of positions. So if I was to show you a chart of all the sectors of the market that are doing better right now, they would all look almost exactly like this. And that would be a chart of right now, gold and mining is looking pretty good. So it would be the same underperformance for a very long time with a counter trend move that looks like it might be able to break, but it hasn't done so yet. Same thing for gold. Gold's has been way underperformed the S&P 500. So it's very big long-term downtrend just starting to look like it wants to break it. So if these stocks do actually start to break these long-term trends, that's very big, and that could be sustained for a very long time. Would us waiting and taking a more measured approach and waiting for that to really show itself, so that we don't get a head fake like we've gotten so many times in the past? That's what I'm always talking about when I'm saying, yeah, sectors started doing well over the last few months. Are the generals are being taken out and shot? Are the sergeants really going to step in and lead this war? And we have yet to see that is the case. Okay, so that's an idea of what I mean when we're watching sectors, and is this a true sustainable rotation? Okay, so to answer the second question, is AI going to change the world and business and the stock market as we know it, and will never be the same in a very negative way? To look at that, let's go back to anytime there's a big change in innovation, things that are going to change things, there's a lot of fear about that. And so remember way back in the 1800s, I know you weren't around then, but there was the mechanical loom and the Luddites. So the fear was that machines were going to permanently destroy skilled textile jobs and impoverish workers. Well, what happened? Many handloom jobs disappeared. But textile production exploded. Prices fell dramatically, demand increased. All was well. The Industrial Revolution dramatically increased real income and living standards. So this was the original AI will replace everyone kind of moment. Then we had the calculator, believe it or not, that was back in the 1970s and 80s, where they thought that calculators were going to replace accountants, bookkeepers, financial clerks. And what happened? No, that didn't happen at all. Basically, routine arithmetic calculations disappeared, but financial analysis expanded. We probably got Excel spreadsheets and things like that around there. So productivity improved, higher level of analytical work was expanding. And remember when automated manufacturing robotics first came into all of our big plants, that was the 1980s to the 2000s. And the fear was the industrial middle class would be wiped out permanently. They were going to come in and take over all those big Ford plants, and that would be no workers left. Well, what actually happened, manufacturing employment fell in certain places and regions, but outputs surged, prices dropped, global supply chains expanded, service sectors expanded massively. So the pain was really local. And the macro growth was super positive. ATMs, they thought at some point were going to replace banks and tellers. And yeah, there are some fewer tellers, but that really helped lower the prices, lower their cost, and they opened more branches, and now tellers are more salespeople, and so it's actually been growing. Tellers have been growing as a field for a very long time. That didn't happen either. The internet, I will say no more. You know what happened with the internet? It's been extremely positive. It changed a lot of things, displaced some people, but there were new jobs created. So I think if you want to keep an open mind that this AI is not going to ruin the world as we know it, that's what I would encourage you to do. Hopefully today I shone a little light on the two questions I started with, and hope you have a great week, and we will talk to you next Tuesday. Bye-bye.